Jomo Kenyatta International Airport stands as Kenya's largest and busiest airport, a vital hub for East Africa. It was here that a storm of controversy erupted when the Adani Group, an Indian conglomerate, set its sights on managing this critical infrastructure. The proposed deal, valued at a staggering $2 billion, aimed to grant Adani a 30-year concession to operate and upgrade JKIA. The news, however, was met with immediate backlash, igniting concerns about transparency and potential repercussions for Kenya's economy. The proposed deal was shrouded in secrecy, raising alarm bells among citizens and opposition leaders alike. A whistleblower's expose revealed the details of the agreement, further fueling public anger. The lack of a transparent and competitive bidding process immediately cast a shadow of doubt over the deal. Critics argued that such a crucial national asset should not be handed over without proper scrutiny and public consultation. Adding fuel to the fire were concerns about the potential impact on local businesses and employment. Many feared that Adani's entry would stifle Kenyan companies and lead to job losses, further disadvantaging local communities. The government's initial defense of the deal, emphasizing the need for investment and infrastructure development, fell on deaf ears. The public demanded answers and a halt to the controversial proposal. As public pressure mounted, President William Ruto, who assumed office just a year prior, found himself at the center of a growing storm. In a surprising turn of events, he publicly denied the existence of any deal with Adani Group, labeling media reports as fake news. He acknowledged ongoing discussions regarding a public-private partnership for JKIA's expansion, but vehemently denied any agreement to lease the airport. Despite Ruto's attempts to distance himself from the controversy, the public remained skeptical. The initial secrecy surrounding the Adani bid had already sown seeds of distrust in his administration. Critics questioned the government's conflicting statements and demanded complete transparency. The hashtag #JKIA began trending on social media, becoming a rallying cry for those opposed to the deal. The controversy ignited a wave of protests across the nation. Students, civil society groups, and ordinary citizens took to the streets, demanding accountability and a reversal of the government's decision. The airport scandal had tapped into a deeper well of frustration with corruption and a perceived lack of transparency in government dealings. Ruto's assurances about transparency and accountability rang hollow for many who felt betrayed by the government's handling of the situation. The controversy surrounding the JKIA deal was further compounded by the Adani Group's own checkered past. The conglomerate, led by billionaire Gautam Adani, has been embroiled in numerous controversies in India and abroad. Allegations of environmental violations, financial irregularities, and questionable business practices have dogged the group for years. In India, Adani's Carmichael coal mine project in Australia faced fierce opposition from environmental activists over its potential impact on the Great Barrier Reef. The project became a lightning rod for criticism, raising concerns about Adani's commitment to sustainable development. Furthermore, the group has been accused of using political connections to secure favorable deals and circumventing regulations, raising serious questions about its ethical conduct. These controversies, readily accessible online and widely reported in international media, did little to inspire confidence in Adani as a suitable partner for Kenya's critical infrastructure. Critics argued that partnering with a company with such a track record would not only tarnish Kenya's reputation, but also expose the country to significant financial and environmental risks. Section 4. The political fallout, trust eroded, accountability demanded. The JKIA scandal sent shockwaves through Kenya's political landscape, significantly impacting President Ruto's young administration. His approval ratings, already under pressure due to the rising cost of living and unfulfilled campaign promises, plummeted further in the wake of the controversy. The scandal reinforced the perception of his government as being beholden to special interests and out of touch with the needs of ordinary Kenyans. The opposition capitalized on the public anger, accusing Ruto of prioritizing personal gain over national interests. They pointed to the lack of transparency in the Adani deal as evidence of a corrupt system that benefited a select few at the expense of the many. The scandal breathed new life into Kenya's long-standing fight against corruption, with civil society groups and activists demanding greater accountability and transparency from those in power. The scandal also exposed the fragility of Kenya's democratic institutions. Despite constitutional guarantees of transparency and accountability, the government's handling of the JKIA deal demonstrated the persistence of patronage networks and the erosion of public trust in institutions meant to safeguard the public interest. Section 5. Kenya's Airport, a future clouded by uncertainty. As the dust settled on the initial uproar, the future of JKIA remained shrouded in uncertainty. While President Ruto had distanced himself from the Adani deal, his government's commitment to a public-private partnership for the airport's expansion remained unchanged. However, the controversy had cast a long shadow, making it challenging to attract credible and trustworthy investors. The scandal had highlighted the complexities of infrastructure development in emerging economies. Balancing the need for foreign investment with national interests, transparency, and accountability had proven to be a delicate balancing act. The controversy surrounding JKIA served as a cautionary tale, underscoring the need for robust due diligence, public participation, and a commitment to ethical conduct in all government dealings. The government's next steps in relation to JKIA will be closely watched by citizens and investors alike. Rebuilding public trust and attracting reputable partners will require a demonstrable commitment to transparency, open competition, and a genuine consideration of the long-term interests of the Kenyan people. Section 6. A global call for transparency and ethical governance. The JKIA scandal resonates far beyond Kenya's borders, highlighting the global need for transparency and ethical governance. In an increasingly interconnected world, where capital flows freely across national boundaries, the potential for corruption and abuse of power is magnified. From the Panama Papers to the 1MDB scandal, recent years have witnessed a string of high-profile corruption cases involving government officials, corporations, and shadowy intermediaries. These scandals have exposed the systemic weaknesses in global governance and the ease with which powerful actors can exploit loopholes for personal gain. The fight against corruption requires a multi-pronged approach, including strengthening legal frameworks, empowering civil society, and fostering a culture of accountability. International cooperation is also crucial to close loopholes, track illicit financial flows, and hold perpetrators accountable, regardless of their nationality or status. The JKIA scandal serves as a stark reminder that the pursuit of economic development must go hand in hand with a commitment to good governance. Transparency, accountability, and citizen participation are not mere buzzwords, but essential ingredients for sustainable and equitable development. Only by upholding these principles can we ensure that the benefits of globalization are shared by all and not just a privileged few.